Azora Woods again. There's my swing chair that I sit in the summertime. And in the wintertime, I'm out here today. And have been out here many times this summer. And while that's a wonderful thing to be able to be outside almost every day, all winter long, here in the Canadian prairies, it should also be, on the heels of the summer at least, enjoyed with a grain of caution. And I say this because of the tree death that I've been witnessing, the die-off of the vegetation, at least in my area. And when I went to Vancouver as well, I walked through some beautiful trails and a lot of dead trees, lots and lots and lots and lots. And most trees have some death on them. Branches are dead. The big forests out there, I found that I remember when I lived out there, I've lived there a few times in my life, and those forests were deep. They were dark. They were filled with the black green. They were luxurious. And while they still are some of that, and to anyone who grows up in drier climes, of course, if you walked in there, you would see that still, but you would never see that blackness that I'm talking about, that depth that those forests used to have. They were dense, quiet, still, mysterious. You had no trouble believing that animal totems and the spirit of the earth could speak to you through the breath of a tree. And that's what I wanted to talk about just briefly here, is there are many missing books from the Bible. We all know that. We're intelligent. We talk about it. Yes, they've hidden a lot. They've never told us the full story. Well, there are books out now, writings, scriptures, scrolls, that have been translated and are even available on the internet that tell you what those missing books, stories, ideas, and messages were. And one of them is the Essene Gospel of Peace. It was written by Christ's contemporaries at the time he was alive, or at the time of his life. And in those readings, Jesus talks about our connection to the trees. He says that the trees are our brothers, and that in order to have our prayers reach God's ears, we must look up at a strong, high-growing, and mighty tree and say to that tree, "Hail be unto thee, my good and faithful brother." Hail be unto thee, O good and living tree. And man is the only creature who has the roots of the tree within his body that enables him to move freely upon the earth. A gift. Now, whether you believe that that the Christian religion is full of it, or that it's unimportant, or it's passé, or it doesn't matter, all of those ideas, they have valid reasons and justifications behind them. I'm not here to change your perspective, but what I am asking you to do is consider those words. Hail be unto thee, my good and faithful brother. Now, Jesus spoke in allegory, metaphorically. He told stories to put across ideas of states of mind, just like the entire Bible does. Stories to explain what happens to you when you entertain a certain state of mind. Oh, and me too. I certainly create some negative states of mind myself. But the idea of our brother being the tree is intriguing now that we understand and in layman's terms can grasp quantum physics and the fact that we are indeed connected in such a way with everything we see around us, being that really nothing exists at all. But what the tree does, what our bodies do, is enable us. What the earth does is it enables us being made of little pieces of nothingness, of tiny quantum, nano-quantum, and nano-nano-quantum particles that are pieced together in an organic system that enables us to have 5 senses, to feel, to touch, to live, to breathe, to experience creation. And this earth is the creation we made. We created an earth where we needed to breathe with our brother. That is how our brother is a tree. We breathe out, he breathes in. He breathes out, we breathe in. So whether you believe in science or religion, obviously Jesus just didn't talk about how to get to heaven. His message would have had to include ideals on how to live fully, freely, completely on this planet while we're here. Love thy neighbor as thyself, of course, all fabulous ideals and ones I need to practice, and I'm sure as most of you. But the point is, perhaps in recognizing ourselves and our very life experience, planetary experience, is based on our relationship, not just with the tree, but with life. All forms of life. And because we created them with God, the creative thought, the creative power of our Heavenly Father, and the material of our earthly mother, we are here. We are brothers and sisters of the trees. Thou shalt not kill any living thing, for all life is sacred to he who created it. We created it. We create everything we see around us. This dead shoot. We created that. I put my chair here because it was beside this cluster of oaks here. And it was the right number for my family, my brother, my sisters, myself. My mother and my grandmother, because that's who our family was. It's dying. That is what we create. We shall reap what we sow. Everything we do to her shall be done to us. Because her breath is my breath. Her blood is my blood. Her bones are my bones. Her flesh is my flesh. Her eyes, her ears are my eyes and my ears. Hail be unto thee, O good and faithful tree, my brother.